new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on with the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
Hi, Grand Rising to you billionaires, man. Thanks so much for joining us again here today on the new Black Wall Street, where Black folk do talk about money, man. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator and CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Of that book, there is a study of Black wealth. That book, there is a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, you should study wealthy people. Well, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, which you see here on the screen, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your soft copy. You pick up the book in the ebook, and also available in French and audiobook and ebook as well. So you can pick up your copy today. Definitely do appreciate your support as an author who is, try to bring valuable work to our community. Our sponsors for today, guys, is Big Sis Media. Big Sis Media is a full-service creative design agency with tools available to help your clients communicate with audiences through visual and digital media. I use Big Sis Media for everything that I do. So when it comes to your websites, flyers, video that you might need, trailers, check out BigSisMediaGroup.com. That's right, BigSisMediaGroup.com. Watching over your most critical digital needs like a big sis would. That'll be BigSisMediaGroup.com, BigSisMediaGroup.com. Also, we have ERGJ Black Bazaar. That's right, ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Man, check out the website at theblackbazaar.com, theblackbazaar.com. And when you come, guys, know that, again, you have so much to be able to kind of shop for, whether it be home decor or be personal care products, your natural personal care products as well as Black art-inspired gifts, man. Check out ERGJBlackBazaar.com. That's right, ERGJBlackBazaar.com, the Afrocentric marketplace. Once you shop Black, you never go back. That's right, once you shop Black, you never go back. Well, beautiful people, man, say thanks so much for being here today for our show, man. I got a wonderful show lined up for you here as we have our new Black Wall Street, and we're getting back into continue along our journey into the 52-week savings challenge. While you guys are connected, man, go ahead and hit that like button, that share button if you care, the like button, the share button if you care. Let people know that you're here. Also, let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country you might be connecting from. We're broadcasting right here live out of Decatur, Georgia, Decatur, where it's greater. Love to know where you're connecting from this morning as well. Love to know exactly where you may be connecting from as well here on this beautiful, beautiful, wonderful Wednesday. That's right, it's wonderful Wednesday here today. Hey, man. I want to let you guys know, man, I do have one quick announcement, man. We're still trying to reach our goal of 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you have not already, go over to YouTube at ERGJ Enterprises and click the follow button and, help us out with reaching us, doing something for free that can help us reach our goal when we begin to monetize our content over on YouTube. That'll be at ERGJ Enterprises. If you have not already, click the follow button, the subscribe button. Make sure you do that today. Well, again, guys, we are getting right into this thing, man. The save train has returned. So let me throw on my hat, and it's time to get this thing go. Look at the shades on Instagram and YouTube. That's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Time for us to get into our savings challenge and continue along our journey into the savings challenge. It's the save train. And I'm your conductor, Mr. Save-A-Lot, and we're back here on our 52-week savings challenge as we continue to put money to pay ourselves first to make sure we're never broke another day in our life. And we've got our straight out of money account. Lets us know if this thing it should go empty, we must be straight out of money. So where we are, we're on week 9, which means that basically each week, according to the week, we're going to put that amount of money into our savings container. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up my savings jar. And we're in week 9, which means, $9, right? $9. We're going to count it out. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll be $9 that we're going to put into our saving container because savings is important, guys. Save money today, and your money may save you a later day. That's right. Save money today, and your money might save you later. When you find yourself in some sticky situation. Now, we do have a money quote today that I wanted to cover for you guys. We're going to do this each week as well. And this money quote comes from Will Rogers. He says this, and I quote, "Too many people spend money they earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like." Now, y'all might have heard that from Will Smith as well, but it's actually originated from Will Rogers. It says this: too many people spend money they've earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like. Well, we want to make sure that that first of all, that we're saving money that we've earned so that we're not buying things that we don't want, and we're not trying to impress people that we don't like. We're doing wise things with our money. So shout out to Will Rogers for our money quote of the day here on the Save Train. And so, guys, hopefully you're continuing along in your journey. I know we've missed a couple videos, but we're back on track. And just continue to follow along with us. Week 9, put $9 right into your savings container. And we're going to do this through the end of the year. And you'll find yourself with almost $1,500 in your savings account. And if you've never saved $1,500 in a year, $1,400, whatever it's going to be, then this is a great way to do it. Just do it each and every week. Follow along with us. And I know some weeks might be harder than others, but let's keep moving forward with the Save Train. It's the Save Train. All aboard. That's right, man. So that's our 52-week savings challenge, guys, that we're doing here just to show and promote that, yes, we can save. We can choose to do that. It's really up to us. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, Chandri, Nana, Kosi, Ventures. Good morning to you. It's Yvette Goodrich. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining. We're continuing along here, guys. So make sure that you're putting money away. You're saving for a rainy day. You're saving for an opportunity to invest in the future. Saving is so important. We got to get back to the principle. We got to get back to the basics. That's right. Everybody putting also back to the basics. We got to get back to the basics. Now, what I decided to do, along with our savings journey, I figured we might as well continue along by actually reading through what I consider to be one of the best financial books ever written. And I continue to promote and tell people about this book. It's an $8 book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, this book is a book that helped me to, it broke it down, helped me to understand the reason why it's so important in its own little way. And so I figured I'd be sharing this book with you guys as well, The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, last time we picked up this book, we had a brother named, what was his name? Let's see if we can find his name. Algamesh was his trainer, but his name was Arcad. And Arcad was a simple knave. He was broke. He didn't have he had a job, but he knew he came across a wealthy man. He said, "Man, I want to learn what you know so I can be wealthy like you." And we pick up in the store where there was a trade that took place. Well, where Algamesh, the rich man, said, "Hey, if you do this job for me, when you complete the job, I'll share with you what needs to happen if you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy." And so he left him off. He told him this after he completed the job of the tablets. He said this. He said to him this. Let's pick up. He said, he looked at him shrewdly from under his shaggy brows and said in a low, forceful tone, "I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. And so will you." Everybody put in comments, so road to wealth. I found my road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. And basically he's saying that, hey, when I decided I was going to pay myself first, when I decided that I was going to practice the principle of saving, when I decided that for myself, that's when I found the road to wealth. Then he continued to look at me with a glance that I could feel pierced me, but said no more. "Is that all?" I asked. "That was sufficient to change the heart of a sheep herder into a heart of a moneylender," he replied. "But all I earn is mine to keep, is it not?" I demanded. So the young buck is like, "Hey, man, is that all? That's all you got for me? I mean, all I earn is mine to keep. And this is how most of us think right now. I go to work, I get paid. That everything that I get paid is mine to keep. And he said, but far from it. He replied, do you not pay the garment maker? Do you not pay the people who make your clothes? Do you not pay the sandal maker, the people who make your shoes? Do you not pay for the things you eat? Do you not pay to eat? Do you not pay? Can you live in Babylon without spending? So although your paycheck is your paycheck, you got to divvy that thing out in order to live in society. What have you to show for the earnings of the past month? Great question to ask this morning. If you think about the past month, if you think about this past 2 months or since the beginning of the year, for every paycheck that you've gotten paid, for every little bit of income that you've had coming in, what do you have to show for it? What for the past year? He said, great questions from a wise man. Fool, you pay to everyone but yourself. Don't you labor for others, as well as be a slave and work for what your master gives you to eat and wear. If you did keep for yourself 1/10 of all you earn, how much would you have in 10 years? If you learn to just pay yourself first and pay yourself 10% of everything that you earn, how much would you have in 10 years? He said, the young buck said, man, my knowledge of numbers did not forsake me, and I answered, as much as I earned in 1 year. You speak but half the truth, he retorted. He said, man, every gold piece or every piece of money that you save is a slave. Everybody putting comments, so my money is a slave. It's a slave to work for you. Every copper it earns is its child that also can earn for you. If you will become wealthy, if you want to get rich, then what you save must earn. If you want to get rich, then what you save must earn. But guess what, guys? It starts with what you save. It starts with starting that process of deciding to save, which is why we have the save train. And its children must earn, that all may help to give you the abundance you crave. Here's also what I understand, beautiful people. Not everybody want to be rich because this process, it requires discipline, and not everybody want to be disciplined when it comes to the little paycheck that they get. It doesn't matter how big, no matter how small, the process is still the same. You think I cheat you for your long night's work, he continued, but I'm paying you 1,000 times over if you have the intelligence to grasp the truth I offer you. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. It should be not less than 1/10, no matter how little you earn. It can be as much more as you can afford. Pay yourself first. Everybody put it down, so pay myself first. Pay yourself first. Do not buy from the clothes maker and the sandal maker more than you can pay out of the rest and still have enough for food and charity and penance to the gods. Wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. And the first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. The first little bit of money that you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth will grow. The sooner you plant that seed, the sooner shall the tree grow. The sooner you decide to begin the savings process or the savings game, sooner you decide to hop on the save train, as soon as you decide to pay yourself first, as soon as you decide to put a little money away, the sooner you can begin the process of building wealth. And the more faithfully you nourish that and water that tree with consistent savings. Everybody put in the console hashtag consistent savings each and every week. Now, hey, I'll admit I haven't been consistent with doing these videos, but I've been consistent with putting my money away. And sometimes creating content ain't as easy as it looks. But we're gonna try. Every Wednesday we're gonna. I'm gonna keep me to it, right? Let's keep it going. Why not? It's important, right? The sooner you may bask in the contentment beneath its shade. So you say, man, you start this process, you grow the tree. You continue to nourish this tree with consistent savings. Now your tree got branches that got leaves, and you can bask in the shade of your own savings that you started the process of your wealth tree. How many guys want a wealth tree? How many guys saying, man, I want to see a tree grow in my house, and that tree is the leaves have got money on it. I got a wealth tree, and but the leaves got money on it. Got ones and fives and tens. Oh my. 20s and 50s and 100s. Oh my. I'm looking at my wealth tree grow because I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. I decided I was going to join the save train. I decided I was going to begin this process to building wealth for myself first, and then for my family and my children's children next. But here's the beautiful thing. If you already got your children's children in mind, it's not going to be that hard. Sometimes you're just doing it for yourself. You might stop because you might not find yourself as valuable as your children are to you. That's just how most people think. That we think more about others than we do of ourselves. And that's okay. Your wealth tree. So saying he took his tablets and went away, I thought much about what he had said, what he had to say to me. And it seemed reasonable. So I decided that I would try. Each time I was paid, I took from each 10 pieces of copper and hid it away. As strange as it may seem, I was no shorter of funds than before. I noticed little difference as I managed to get along without it, but often I was tempted as my hoard began to grow to spend it for some of the good things the merchants displayed, brought by camels and ships from the land of the Phoenicians, but I wisely refrained. How many guys felt that? Man, you start the process and then you start seeing a little money in your bank account and then all these temptations come and you got to decide, am I going to keep along with the process or am I going to just go ahead and spend frivolously now that I got a little money saved up and I feel a little bit more safe and secure? A 12th month after Alchemist had gone, he returned again and said to me, son, have you paid to yourself no less than 1/10 of all you earned for the past year? How many guys would say that you're willing to try this process out? You're willing to say, hey, I'm going to pay myself no less than 1/10 of all I earn for a year. That's a great thing for us to do. I know we're doing a 52-week savings challenge. We'll continue along with this, but maybe we'll convert this into the 1/10 challenge, the 10% challenge. Oh, my goodness, that's going to be great. I answered proudly, yes, master, I have. He said, that's good. He answered, beaming upon me, and what have you done with it? He said, I've given it to Asmore, the brickmaker, who told me he was traveling over the far seas and in Tyre. He would buy for me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. When he returns, we shall sell these at high prices and divide the earnings. Every fool must learn, he growled. But why trust the knowledge of a brickmaker about jewels? Would you go to the bread maker to inquire about the stars? No. By my tunic, you would go to the astrologer. If you had the power to think, your savings are gone. Young lad, you've jerked your wealth tree up by the roots, but plant another. Everybody put it down, so plant another. Now, here's the deal. He basically has told the brother, you made a terrible mistake, right? You know, you're not wise yet. I'm trying to think of the word. Remember, he just told him, man, hey, man, your money gone. It sounds like a good idea, but you did it with the wrong people. Yeah, your money's probably gone. You're gonna have to start over. And some of us in that position right now, we paid some stupid tax in our life, done some dumb things with our money. But here's the deal: here's the wonderful thing about life: it's never too late to start over. Everybody put it on, so start over. It's never too late to start over. Catastrophe could strike, but it's never too late to start over. Plant another tree. The sooner you start, the sooner it'll grow, and the sooner you can bask in the shade of your wealth tree. Start over. Try again. The next time, if you would have advice about jewels, go to the jewel maker. Right? And if you would know the truth about sheep, go to the herdsman. Advice is one thing that is freely given away. But watch that you take only what is worth having. He who takes advice about his savings from one who is inexperienced in such matters shall pay with his savings for proving the falsity of their opinions. Saying this, he went away. Now, what did he just say? He said, hey, listen, whenever you want advice about any particular subject, go to the experts of that subject. Right? You're going to have a lot of people coming to you with their opinions about things that I call them theories, opinions and theories. They have no proof of what it is that they talk about. They just think that it works. And if you're not careful, you'll be swayed by the conversations of others without actually asking for proof that they can actually satisfy what they talk about. Because most of these people that come across your path, they're just trying to get by just like you. They have no expertise in any particular area. They're jumping from one thing to the other, and they're trying to get other people to jump with them. And one of these things that we must learn if we really want to build wealth is don't follow the crowd. Why? Because the crowd is broke. The crowd is naive. The crowd is stupid. Don't follow the crowd. You have advice, get advice from the experts in that particular area. Or become the expert yourself. And as it was said, for the Phoenicians or scoundrels are sold to Asmore worthless bits of glass that look like gems. But as Alchemist had bidden me, I again saved each 10 copper, for now I had formed the habit and it was no longer difficult. Again, 12 months later, Alchemist came to the room of the scribes and addressed me. What progress have you made since I last saw you? So he's got a mentor, by the way. He's got a money mentor, about putting on his own money mentor. This wealthy man would come back and check on his student, his pupil, every year. What kind of progress have you made? When it comes to you, your money, your wealth journey, your business, your goals, do you have somebody that'll come and check on you and simply ask you, what kind of progress have you made since I last saw you? Whether it been 6 months, 3 months, 4 years. You said you was going to do this. You started this process. I just want to know what kind of progress you made. How's it been going? What kind of developments have happened? What kind of progress have you made? I paid faithfully myself, I replied, and my savings I've entrusted to Agar, the shield maker, to buy bronze. For each 4th month, he does pay me the rental. That is good. And what do you do with the rental? I do have a great feast with honey and fine wine and spiced cake. Also, I bought me a scarlet tunic, and someday I shall buy me a young ass upon which to ride. So he said, hey, I did something smart with my money. I learned about not entrusting my money to someone who's not skilled in this area. So I went to a shield maker who buys bronze. That makes sense. He pays me rental or interest for using my money to buy the bronze. But then when I get that money, now I'm doing something stupid with it, right? Now I'm buying the fine wine. I gotta have that. I gotta have the best food in the land. I gotta eat at Benihana's. You know what? One day I'm gonna get me a young ass. He basically said I'm about to get me a new car. That's what he just said. And back in those days, they rode on camels and donkeys. Now we ride vehicles. He said I'm about to get me a new car. I got money coming in. I'm going to eat like the kings and queens. I'm going to drink like the royalty, and I'm about to ride around with my doves on my car. That's what many people thinking about with their tax return. They're about to get paid. And they about to go get the fine wine and the spice cake, the good dessert. They're going to eat like kings, and they're going to get them a new car. To which the master, Alchemist, he laughed. Oh, you do eat the children of your savings. Then how do you expect them to work for you? And how can they have children that will also work for you? First, get thee an army of golden slaves. Everybody putting comes little money army. Get you an army of slaves. An army of money slaves. An army of 1s and 5s and 10s and 20s and 50s and 100s. Get you an army of golden slaves, and then many a rich banquet may you enjoy without regret. So saying he again went away. Nor did I again see him for 2 years. Then he once more returned and his face was full of deep lines and his eyes drooped, for he becoming a very old man. He said to me, Arcad, hast thou yet achieved the wealth you dreamed of? And I answered, not yet all that I desire, but some I have, and it earns more, and its earnings earn more. And do you still take the advice of a brickmakers? About brickmaking, they give good advice, I retorted. Arcad, he continued, you have learned your lessons well. Your first lesson to live upon less than you could earn. Next, you learn to seek advice from those who are competent through their own experiences to give it. And lastly, you learn to make gold work for you. Let's go through those 3 lessons again that he shared with his student as it relates to building or growing the money tree, the wealth tree. Number one, you got to learn to live on less than you earn. Number two, you got to learn to take advice only from those who are competent through their own experiences to give it. Not theory. They've experienced it. Number three, you got to learn how to make your money work for you. Let's repeat that again. Once you put those, hey, you might want to write this stuff down, guys, for real. These are just simple principles. This stuff is not high tech. It's not convoluted. It's not something that is really simple. It's just a matter of not complicating what is simple. Number one, we must learn to live on less than we earn. If you really want to build the wealth tree, you want to get out of debt, you want to get to that, you want to increase your status as it relates to your money and what's going on in your bank account. Number two, got to learn to only take advice from those who are competent through their own experiences to give it. How many guys have taken advice from people and it wasn't the advice that they had from their own experiences, and you might have followed that advice and it didn't work out for you? Because a lot of people will talk about what they think is good without knowing that it's good because they haven't experienced the good themselves. Let me say that again. A lot of people will talk about what they think is good because it sounds good, but not knowing that it's good because they never experienced it for themselves. They just saw it on TV. They just heard it through the grapevine. They think they hope that it works out for you. And then number three, you got to learn how to make your money work for you. 3 lessons to learn to build your wealth tree, to build your money army of golden slaves to work for you. You've taught yourself how to acquire money, how to keep it, and how to use it. Therefore, you're competent for a responsible position. I'm becoming an old man. My sons think only of spending and give no thought to earning. How many guys got children like that? Your children, they think only of spending. They give no thought to earning. How many of you are like that or been like that in your life? You think only of spending. You give no thought to earning. My interests are great and I fear too much for me to look after. If you'll go to Nippur and look after my lands there, I shall make you my partner and you shall share in my estate. So basically, I'm going to say, you know what? You've done well in actually learning the lessons that I needed you to learn. And because you have advanced, because you are now mature as it relates to money, I want you to manage my estate. I want you to become my partner because I can now trust you when it comes to money. So I went to Nippur and took charge of his holdings, which were large. And because I was full of ambition and because I had mastered the 3 laws of successfully handling wealth, the 3 laws of successfully handling wealth, I was enabled to increase greatly the value of his properties. So I prospered much. And when the spirit of Alchemist departed from the sphere of darkness to the sphere of darkness, I did share in his estate as he had arranged under the law. So spake Arcad. When he had finished his tale, one of his friends said, "You were indeed fortunate that Alchemist made you an heir." I'm going to pick up on this later. He said, fortunate only in that I had the desire to prosper before I first met him. Let me ask you this question, billionaires. Do you have a desire to prosper? Now, I know that may sound like a crazy question, but here's the reality. Not everybody want to be rich. Not everybody has a desire. See, I really want us to understand that there's a difference between simply wishing and wanting something and truly having a desire to do it. I mean, everybody can say, I want to be rich, but I didn't ask if you want to be rich. I asked, do you have a desire to prosper? Which simply means that my desire is strong enough that I'll take these 3 simple laws and I'll apply them to my life. These 3 laws to successfully handling wealth. Do you have a desire to prosper? He said, for 4 years, did I not prove my definite purpose by keeping 1/10 of all I earned? Would you call a fisherman lucky who for years so studied the habits of fish that with each changing wind, he could cast his nets about them? Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. You had strong willpower to keep on after you lost your first year savings. You are unusual in that way, spoke another. Willpower, retorted Arcad. What nonsense. Do you think willpower gives a man the strength to lift a burden the camel cannot carry or to draw a load to the oxen cannot budge? Willpower is but the unflinching purpose to carry a task you set for yourself to fulfillment. What task have you set for yourself? You see, when I think about even this show and even this segment, the 52-week savings challenge that I set for myself to do for others, I got to get back on it, right? Because it's something I set out for myself, and hopefully other people benefit from it. If I set for myself a task, be it ever so trifling, I shall see it through. He said, I'm going to honor the promises I make to myself. I'm going to honor the commitments I make for myself. I'm going to honor my own word for myself, not for anybody else. This is what I said I'm going to do for me. And doggone it, I'm going to do it. How shall I have confidence in myself to do important things? Should I say to myself, for 100 days, as I walk across the bridge into the city, I will pick from a road of pebble and cast it into the stream? I would do it. If on the 7th day I pass by without remembering, I would not say to myself, tomorrow I will cast 2 pebbles, which will do as well. Instead, I will retrace my steps and cast a pebble. Nor on the 20th day would I say to myself, Arcad, this is useless. What does it avail you to cast a pebble every day? Throw in a handful and be done with it. No, I would not say that nor do it. When I set a task for myself, I complete it. Therefore, I'm careful not to start difficult and impractical tasks because I love leisure. When I set a task for myself, I complete it. How many guys are like that? When you say you're going to do something for yourself, you just simply do it. You don't overthink, overanalyze. You don't come up with excuses. You are just simply that responsible when it comes to the words that come out of your very own mouth. Good morning to you, Miss Benjamin. How you doing? Will you honor your word to yourself? Honor your word to yourself. And another friend spoke up and said, if what you tell is true, and it does seem as you have said reasonable, then being so simple, if all men did it, there will not be enough wealth to go around. And wealth grows whenever men exert energy. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Now, here's what I found to be true in my life. When I get busy, things get busy. When I exert energy, when I put in the effort, when I make the phone call, when I show up, when I am there, when I put out the ad, when I do the marketing, when I do what I'm supposed to do, when I exert energy, things begin to happen. Wealth begins to grow. I make a little bit more money. When I get lazy, when I take the day off, when I disappear for a week, when I no longer want to be bothered, when I do nothing, I get nothing. Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Now, if we find this to be true, then the question begins, then it's a great question to ask. Are you consistently, on a day-by-day or daily basis, exerting energy in a way that can produce results? Are you learning from your mistakes of the past? Are you adjusting to not do the things that don't work and keep doing more of the things that do work? Wealth grows wherever men exert energy. Are you being honest with yourself when I ask the question, are you really exerting energy in a space where wealth can grow? If a rich man builds him a new palace, is the gold he pays out gone? No. The brickmaker has part of it, and the laborer has a part of it, and the artist has a part of it, and everyone who labors upon the house has a part of it. Yet when the palace is completed, is it not worth all it costs? And is the ground upon which it stands not worth more than because it's there? And is the ground that adjoins it not worth more because it is there? Wealth grows in magic ways. No man can prophesy the limit of it. Have not the Phoenicians built great cities on barren coasts with the wealth that comes from their ships of commerce on the seas? Wealth grows in magic ways. Everybody put that in the comments below. Wealth grows in magic ways. What then do you advise us to do that we also may become rich? And here's his friend saying, hey, you told us the story about how you got rich. We're sitting here, we got questions. Now we want to ask what we need to do. The years have passed and we are no longer young men. We have nothing put by. We have nothing saved. We got nothing in our bank account. We just as old as you. You rich, we broke. What we need to do? I advise that you take the wisdom of Alchemists and say to yourselves, a part of all I earn is mine to keep. Everybody put that in comments below. A part of all I earn is mine to keep. I see a lot of small business women I have met. They say that taking breaks, relaunching, having downtime, say you are running a business or a hobby. I don't take a break. This is my life, duh, consistently. Absolutely. I advise you to take the wisdom of alchemists. I advise you to take the wisdom of my teacher. And say to yourself, a part of all I earn is mine to keep. Say it in the morning when you first rise. Say it at noon. Say it at night. Say it each hour of every day. Say it to yourself until the words stand out like letters of fire across the sky. Impress yourself with the idea. Fill yourself with the thought. Then take whatever portion seems wise. Let it be no less than 1/10 and lay it by. Arrange your other expenditures to do this if necessary, but lay by that portion first. Save that portion first. Soon you'll realize what a rich feeling it is to own a treasure upon which you alone can have claim. As it grows, it will stimulate you. A new joy of life will thrill you. Greater efforts will come to you to earn more. For of your increased earnings, will not the same percentage be also yours to keep? Then learn to make your treasure work for you. Make it your slave. Make its children and its children's children work for you. Ensure an income for thy future. Look thou the aged and forget not that in the days to come thou also will be numbered among them. Therefore invest thy treasure with the greatest caution that it not be lost. Usurious rates of return are deceitful sirens that sing but to lure the unwary upon the rocks of loss and remorse. Provide also that thy family may not want, should the gods call thee to their realms. For such protection, it is always possible to make provision with small payments at regular intervals. He's talking about insurance. Therefore, the provident man delays not in the expectation of a large sum becoming available for such a wise purpose. Counsel with wise men. Seek the advice of men who daily work in handling money. Let them save you from such an error as I myself made in entrusting my money to the judgment of Asmore the brickmaker. A small return and a safe one is far more desirable than risk. A small return and a safe one is far more desirable than risk. Enjoy life while you are here. Do not overstrain or try to save too much. If 1/10 of all you earn is as much as you can comfortably keep, Be content to keep this portion. Live otherwise according to your income, and let not yourself get niggardly and afraid to spend. Life is good and life is rich with things worthwhile and things to enjoy. His friends thanked him and went away. Some were silent because they had no imagination and could not understand. Some were sarcastic because they thought that no one so rich should divide with that one so rich should divide with old friends not so fortunate. But some had in their eyes a new light. Now listen to this. You get wisdom of the ages. Here's what happens. Same thing with you when you try to share the wisdom that you have with people in your life. Some have no imagination. They simply cannot understand what you are trying to convey. Others are going to get sarcastic with the wisdom that you're trying to share with them because they got stinking thinking. They thought you should be giving us some of your money. But there's going to be a few. Everybody putting down a few. There's going to be a few. There's going to be a few who watch this show or watch this episode. There's only going to be a few who are going to have whose eyes will be enlightened. Who are going to be who are going to be what they call it? You're going to have a new light, a new perspective, a new attitude. There's only going to be a few. They realized that Alchemist had come back each time to the room of the scribes because he was watching a man work his way out of darkness into light. Everybody putting down, so work my way out. See, there's something to be said about working your way out. That's why I have such an appreciation for a brother named Michael Vick, who was $100 million in debt at some point in time, went to jail because of the whole dog fighting situation. But he worked his way out. He didn't just simply file bankruptcy. He worked his way out. He didn't ask for a handout. He worked his way out of the darkness. You too can work your way out. He's watching a man work his way out of darkness into light. When that man found the light, a place awaited him. No one could fill that place until he had for himself worked out his own understanding until he was ready for the opportunity. These later were the ones who, in following years, frequently visited Arcad, who received them gladly. He counseled with them and gave them freely of his wisdom, as men of broad experience are always glad to do. And he assisted them in so investing their savings that it would bring in a good interest with safety and would neither be lost nor entangled in investments that paid no dividends. The turning point, everybody putting down, so the turning point in these men's lives, the turning point in your life, the turning point in these women's lives, the turning point came upon that day when they realized the truth that had come from Algamash to Arcad and from Arcad to them. The same turning point can be your turning point today as it relates to your bank account, as it relates to your money tree, as it relates to your wealth fortress, as it relates to your army of money. This turning point is when you realize this simple truth. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all, not some, not a little bit, a part of all you earn is yours to keep. Now I want to cover again these three laws, right? These three lessons as it relates to successfully handling money. Right? First lesson, number one, you must learn to live upon less than you earn. If you don't learn that simple lesson, if you don't practice this simple lesson, you will never be rich. Let me say that again. Number one, this is the number one rule, number one law, number one lesson to learn is to learn to live on less than you earn. If you never learn this, and obviously if you don't learn it, you won't be able to teach it to your children, and the cycle will continue. If you don't learn how to live on less than you earn, you will never be rich. You will always be in debt. You will always be a lender and not a borrower if you never learn how to live on less than you earn. That is the number one rule. I say this stuff is not complicated. It's simple. Everybody putting comments on simple. What's going on off the street block? Number two. Lesson number two. Rule number two. As it relates to successfully handling money, as it relates to getting rich, as it relates to building wealth. Number two. You got to learn to take advice from those who are competent through their own experiences to give it. Watch who you listen to. Watch whose advice you take. What qualifies them to give you the advice that they're giving? If you can't qualify it, don't take it. If you can't qualify it, don't take it. If you don't see the proof in their life, don't take it. Learn to take advice from those who are competent through their own experiences to give it. And number three, simple rule to getting rich. Simple rule to getting out of debt. Simple rule to building wealth. Simple rule to make sure you can leave an inheritance to your children's children. Number three, you got to learn how to make your money work for you. Another term that simply is called learn how to invest. Now, before you get to number three, before you even deal with number two, you got to deal with number one. Learn to live on less than you earn. Now, I'm going to ask this question, but you don't have to answer it if you don't like. Is there anybody here that may be watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram who can say without a doubt that you are living on less than you earn right now? And it's okay if you're not, because now that you've heard this message, hopefully you make some adjustments to make sure that you take care of rule number one if you have a desire to prosper. Now, these are three rules that have to do with self. Doesn't have to do with anybody else. Doesn't have to do with mom and them doing, bop and them doing, wife and them doing. It don't have nothing to do with all that. These are three self-discipline rules that you and I can decide to apply to our life if we are serious, if we have a serious desire to prosper, to get rich, to get out of debt, to build wealth, to leave an inheritance to our children's children. These are three simple rules that you and I can follow. And the turning point, as it relates to not only these men in this book, but as it relates to anybody, the turning point is when you realize this simple truth. And then you apply it to your life. That a part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. Well, beautiful people, we invite you to continue along with us on our 52-week savings challenge each and every week. We practice the principle of a part of all I earn is mine to keep. And so this is my savings jar, and we just completed week 9, so we put $9 into our savings container. Next week, week 10, we're going to put $10 into our savings container. Now, this might not be 10%, right? But it's a start. And some of us just need to get started. Everybody put in the comments, so let's get it started. Some of us just need to get started. See, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to start in order to be great. And many of us, we want to be great. But again, there's a difference between wanting something and truly desiring it, because desire will cause a change in behavior. A desire will cause a change in behavior. You probably wanted it your whole life, but you wasn't willing to change. Tells me you didn't really desire it. It was more of a hope, a wish. If you truly desire to be prosperous, if you truly desire to get out of debt, if you truly desire to get rich, if you truly desire to build wealth, if you truly desire to leave an inheritance to your children's children, it starts by accepting the simple truth that a part of all you earn is yours to keep. This is New Black Wall Street, where black folk do talk about money. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Hopefully you took something away from today as we've read through what I consider the best financial book ever written, The Richest Man in Babylon. This book is a $10 book that can change the way you think. And ultimately, if you change the way you think, you can change your life forever. Change the way you think, and you can change your life forever. 3 simple rules to successfully handling money. 3 simple rules that you can choose to apply to get out of debt. 3 simple rules that you can choose to apply to build wealth. 3 simple rules that you can choose to apply to get rich. 3 simple rules that you can choose to apply to leave an inheritance to your children's children. A simple truth of the ages. Pay yourself first. Well, beautiful people, I want you to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, we'll do this every Wednesday, by the way, but you can tune in to our other shows. We got Black Money and Power Show. Tomorrow we'll have a guest to talk about building business credit, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday, we'll have a financial literacy author with us, a children's financial literacy author with us as well on Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on New Black Wall Street and our Black Money and Power Show. Until then, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.